Hello and welcome to For Traveling Teens. I am here today with Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
So, Ryan, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hello, my name is Ryan, and right now I'm in Mexico City.
Awesome. And how old are you, Ryan?
I'm 10 years old.
10. All right. Excellent. So, why do you like to travel?
Well, I really like the food in every place we go, and also to just meet new people and see different religions and stuff.
How long have you all been traveling for?
I think it was like a year and a half.
Okay.
I think.
I know that wasn't one of the official questions to ask you. I sprung that one on you, but it's all right. You did great. So, what is your favorite way to travel? Do you like to go by boat, by car, RV, train? What is your favorite? If you could travel everywhere this way all the time, what would it be?
Train.
What's so great about the train?
It's just usually on airplanes my ears struggle, but on the trains there's no, I can just relax.
I agree. I really enjoy traveling by train. I don't do it nearly as often as I would like to, but I really do enjoy it. So I can definitely see why. I don't like flying at all. Regular listeners to the podcast will know that, but I also refuse to not see all the places. So even though I don't like flying, I still do it.
Same with me.
Yeah. So how many states, countries, or places have you been to already?
9
9 countries or 9 states?
countries, I think.
Yeah. So when you've traveled around in the United States, have you been to a few states in the US too?
Not as many as like Europe or South America, but a couple.
Okay. And what's been your favorite country so far?
I would say probably Prague, Czech Republic.
Really interesting. I hope to hear more about it when we get to some of our later questions. Why do you think it's important for tweens and teens to travel away from their home area?
Well, it's fun, and I would say not a lot of people get to do it, and if you have the chance you should definitely do it if you have the chance, because it's one in a lifetime chance. So I would feel like it's really important because it doesn't come up that often.
That is true. You and I are very fortunate to get to go to as many places as we have so far. So what is your big travel dream? Where, if someone said to you, where do you most want to go in the whole world? Where would it be?
Probably Africa, because I really want to go on a safari and see a bunch of cool animals.
Oh my goodness. So I am actually on my way to one of my big travel dreams, which is to go to Australia. I'm currently on a layover in Dallas to go to Australia to see the quokkas on Rottnest Island. They're these small, cute, happy little rodents. But then on the way through, we're going to go to South Africa and we're going to get to self-drive ourselves around Kruger National Park and see all of the big animals. So I am very close to doing that and I am very excited. So I can totally relate to that being a travel dream. Are you a big fan of animals in general?
Yes.
Yes, me too. Your eyes got really big. Listeners, you can't see this, but Ryan's eyes just got really big like mine because I too love all of the animals. What's your favorite animal, Ryan?
A lion and also cheetah. They're pretty close.
They are. Okay. And what makes you love these big cats and these animals so much?
I mean, they're just fascinating because there's so many different types of animals, and each different type of animal God made was different in a sort of way. So I really like how all of them are different.
Awesome. I love it. So here is another little fun fact for you. I have tattoos on my leg that are all different animal prints of different animals that I've had like meetings with. So listener, you won't be able to see, but I'm going to show Ryan my tattoos here on my leg. And so I have footprints from mountain gorillas and monkeys in Bali and elephants and manatees from Florida and all different kinds of critters. So when I come back, I'm going to add camels to it because I got to go ride a camel for 10 minutes in Dubai in 2021. And I will add some ground squirrels from the national parks in the US. And then I will add the quokka, which I am very excited about, and maybe some of my other animals from the safari. So I'm very excited. So there you go. That's how I like to keep track of my memories. We're going to talk about how you keep track of your memories a little bit later, but let's talk about prepping for a trip. So I know that you and your family kind of live in a place for a little while at a time, but how much input do you have or like to have when your family is planning the trip?
I like to have a lot, but I don't have that much. I can suggest things, but we usually don't do them.
Oh no. What sort of things do you like to suggest?
Different, I would look for amusement parks, zoos, and big parks.
And mom and dad say no?
So with the parks, not they a lot of times say yes because they know I really like to play outside. But with the zoo, not that much.
So we've had a previous person on here who really loves water parks and amusement parks and things like that. And their parent is always like, no, we have those in the United States. We're not going to go to these other countries to do those things. But I argue, how can you know how amazing they are in other places if you don't also try them there? As long as they're safe, like I'm here for it. So I'm with you, Ryan, that, you know, even if it's something that we have in the US, you can get a real different perspective on it by going and doing it somewhere else too. So I'll hopefully mom will listen to this podcast and will increase your ability to go to zoos and amusement parks overseas. All right. So what are your must-haves? Like obviously everybody needs clothes and underpants and whatever, but like when you pack for a trip, what are you like, I cannot go without this?
A soccer ball.
Okay.
I got some Harry Potter wands for Christmas, so I really wanted to bring those, so I did. I have like a reprint of the Marauders map, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
So am I. What house are you?
Hufflepuff.
Me too. Oh my gosh. Two badgers hanging out, talking. I love it. So I also have a Harry Potter tattoo. It's the 3 little stars from the book. So only people who know Harry Potter would know that it's a Harry Potter tattoo. But then I will be able to find my people and my big nerds who also love Harry Potter with me. Yeah. So you have a replica Marauders map. You have some wands with you. I love it. And a soccer ball. It sounds like you're quite active.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, those sound like very excellent things to have with you. We have to keep everything pretty tight, so I don't always get to bring all of my favorite things with me, but I do have a couple of like Harry Potter things that like have to make the trip as well. So I totally understand. All right. So what do you look for? We kind of touched on this already, but when you go to a location and you're trying to make these suggestions to your parents, what are you looking for in a location? Something that excites you? Is it hiking, amusement parks, food, history, beaches? What are you into?
Amusement parks, food, and I would say just giant old-fashioned statues.
Really? What's so exciting about those for you?
Well, some of them are like from a really long time ago, and when I look at it, my mind just goes blank. It just
awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I totally get that. Have you been to Cairo in Egypt yet?
No, not yet.
So obviously that's where the pyramids are and the Sphinx. Very cool. But there's a museum there called the Museum of Antiquities. And it has a ton of old Egyptian things. And some of the things they have are like the giant statues that you kind of see in pictures, but when you're standing next to them, it's like amazing. And the pyramids themselves, they are bigger in person than you think they're going to be, and they're pretty cool. But the statues themselves at the Museum of Antiquities in Egypt was pretty neat. So if you like big statues, that's a really good place to go, for sure. So I know that you yourself are quite active and you have your how to say your sports ball, your soccer ball with you. Do you enjoy going to sporting events in other countries and learning about sports from other countries?
We don't usually go to sports, but I like it watching on my TV.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we enjoy cricket. Mr. Steven, my husband, is English, and he always kind of enjoyed cricket, but I got into it more when we lived in the UK. And so we're going to go to a T20 cricket match in Australia, which will be really fun too. So we do like to go sometimes, but not very often, kind of just for different things that we wouldn't always see. All right, so let's talk now that we're kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of trip stories. So you mentioned earlier that the Czech Republic is probably your favorite place. So I'm hoping that some of these stories may come from there, but if not, I might circle back around and ask you more questions about that. What is your favorite trip memory of all time?
It's not from Czech Republic, but I do have one Czech Republic memory that's not good, but it's bad.
Okay, well, we'll get to that with your worst trip memory. So tell me your favorite trip memory, and then we'll talk about your worst trip memory.
When we were in the Amazon, my mom was sitting on a bench, and she was holding an apple, and a macaw was right above her, and the macaw was like screeching at her, trying to get the apple.
Oh my gosh. Total. Did he snatch it in the end or just try?
No, mom just ran away.
Good plan, Mom. Good plan. So that's your favorite trip memory because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it. Very good indeed. So what is your worst trip memory if you feel comfortable sharing that?
It's when this one's from Prague. We got like a little ice cream thing, chimney cake. I call it Tregelnik, but we were asking if it had tree nuts, which I'm allergic to. And I took a bite of it because all of like the cone shaped thing was covered in a type of nut that I can't eat. I don't know what it was, and once I ate it, a part of my lips swell up really bad.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Were you okay? Do you carry an EpiPen with you for this tree nut allergy?
Yeah, I was okay. At least my throat didn't swell up. That would be the worst case scenario. But
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So we here on the podcast have heard of chimney cake. I believe it's Coral loves chimney cake. She like that was her favorite food ever. How do you feel about chimney cake other than the bad experience?
the ice cream was delicious.
Uh-huh.
But the cone, since I'm allergic to it, my body just doesn't like the taste. So
Right.
it didn't taste that good.
No, but the ice cream was good.
Oh yeah, it was
Awesome.
delicious.
So do you have any other funny or interesting stories that maybe aren't your best or your worst, but you want to share with me?
Well, one time this was another one from the Amazon. We found some grubs in a tree and I ate one raw. It tasted disgusting.
Was it slimy yet satisfying?
Yeah, very satisfying.
So did you have permission from someone to eat this grub, or were you just like, I'm doing it?
We had permission because I don't know if he was like a part of the place we were staying. he was a part of the place we were staying, but so he like the camp we were staying at, we walked to there and we ate the grubs out of a tree.
Okay. So someone was like, you could eat these grubs if you wanted to. Anybody want to? And you were like, yes, please, me. I would like to eat these grubs.
Yeah.
Anyone else in your family eat grubs with you?
Martin did, and then the girls didn't. Even Dad didn't. I was surprised Dad didn't, but
Really? Dad's in there for the adventurous eats?
yeah.
Well,
And
go ahead.
we cooked them, and it tasted kind of like chicken. Like, I don't know why, but it halfway tasted like chicken. I don't know why.
Well, I will say that I consider myself to be a pretty adventurous eater, and you, Ryan, are now top of the adventurous eating list that I'm making up because grubs from the tree in the Amazon, pretty amazing. So well done on that. Very cool. So what makes the Czech Republic your favorite place you've been to?
Well, it's a beautiful city, and like they have so many places. There's just so many things you can do.
So you spent time in Prague?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were so many things to do. There was a mini Eiffel Tower.
Ooh.
But you had to climb a giant hill because they wanted to match the exact height. And they did. If you went north, south, east, or west, I don't know which direction, someplace over there, and you were standing on the tippity top, you would basically see the Eiffel Tower and they would be right here.
Right. It would be the same height. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a smaller structure, but they put it up on a hill so that it's the right height.
Yeah.
Very
Big
cool and
hill.
creative. Awesome. All right. So we kind of already have touched on this. You seem to be an adventurous eater.
Yes.
Are you up for
Very.
trying anything when you're there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the best or worst, most unusual thing you've tried? Is that the grub, or do you have some other stories for me?
The grub. Yeah, that's the top thing.
What other crazy stuff have you tried?
I don't know if this would basically count because it was like yesterday or the day before that. I think it was pretty weird because I just think it's weird. We ate cactus on our tacos in Mexico, and I think that's weird.
Was it nopales?
Nopales?
That's sometimes what they call the cactus part that you eat in the taco. Maybe it was a different cactus.
Yeah.
I have had cactus in my taco. I think it's delicious. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. It kind of tasted like green beans to me.
It does. It does. I love green beans though. So I'm here for the cactus tacos. So am I correct in remembering that you have recently been to Peru, or you are going to Peru?
We've been in Peru.
Did you eat guinea pig there?
No, but I really regret not eating guinea pig because I really wanted to.
That would be a good one to add to your list for sure. Yeah. Yep. And that's one of the things about travel, right? You learn that different places domesticate or keep as pets different animals than other places. And so animals that in the US, you might think, oh my gosh, I would never, eat, nibbles my guinea pig. In Peru, it's different. And people might think to themselves, oh my gosh, I would never eat, hey, my chicken, that kind of thing. So everybody's different. I know they eat chicken in Peru too, but I'm just, an example of like different animals that we are like, yes, we would eat it. They would not, and vice versa. So it's one of those things that's definitely worth kind of trying and learning about as you go. So do you have any anxiety or fear when something comes up? Maybe things you're not sure about, things that make you uncomfortable, and how do you deal with those?
Eating new food with my tree nut allergy.
Sure.
And I deal with it. We always like ask or translate if they don't speak English, if it has tree nuts. And when we were in Turkey, I think it was Istanbul, Turkey, I got a bracelet that said I'm allergic to nuts.
Good plan.
So we would just show them my bracelet and they would know.
Awesome. That sounds like that's an excellent thing to do for something that serious for sure. So you have some anxiety, but you move through it with good translation skills, everybody kind of being real alert, not just randomly trying things. Well, except for the grubs, but we're pretty sure they didn't contain tree nuts, so it's all right.
No.
All right, so now we're moving into the advice portion. You are wise, Ryan. You have all these places you've been and all these things you've tried. What is something that you want adults, maybe parents or teachers, to know when they are planning a trip with or for teens and tweens?
Well, if they should definitely ask if they've traveled before and ask them if their ears hurt on airplanes just like mine, and just get their permission and stuff.
Yeah, because there's definitely some strategies that you can do with your ears on the airplane. They're not perfect strategies, but they can be helpful. And sometimes even just knowing that that may happen for you is a good thing.
Yeah.
So definitely. So asking, finding out. All right. So what would you say to other teens or tweens who aren't sure if travel is for them?
Well, maybe it's not for you, but maybe it is. So you don't really know if you don't give it a try. So I would say we did a little test trip into Istanbul, Turkey. So we did that little test trip for a couple months in Europe, and I think before doing a lot of traveling, you should definitely do a test trip before it.
So is everybody in your family pretty happy to be on this nomadic lifestyle that you have now after that test trip?
Yes, very
Awesome.
happy.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast with me today.
You're welcome.
This has been an episode of For Traveling Teens, a podcast for teens and tweens who love travel, whether they're actively traveling or just dreaming. I'm Shae Pepper, the traveling teach. At the time of this recording, I am on a 5-year, 50-state road trip around the US, although with COVID, it's going to end up being 6 or 7 years. Darn you, COVID. But I travel full time with my husband, Steven, and our dog, Truffles. I'm a professional youth worker and online educator. I'm passionate about learning on location and want to bring that experience to as many young people as possible through my virtual field trips. To learn more about my travels and online classes, go to thetravelingteach.com. To follow Truffles' travels, our trip from her perspective, which I am sure is infinitely more interesting to most of you than I am, go to @TrufflesTravelsUS on Instagram. To be a guest, tween, or teen on the podcast, just reach out at thetravelingteach.com/contact.